Actually happened when we played a show in Hollywood, Florida. And we were playing a cava bar. It was called the Twisted Root Cava Bar. Now, I am naive. I thought we were gonna go drink some sparkling white wine. And I was excited. But apparently when you spell cava with a K, it's a chopped up pepper root that the hippies like to drink. And the way they market it to you is they say this is a cross between booze and weed. And it's neither of those things, but it does make your tongue numb as shit. And I was pretty sure I was having a severe allergic reaction, but the guy that owned the place was like, no man, that's natural. All right. So I'm looking at the doorway right before we start playing, and I see a man there. And I'm like, this is gonna be an interesting evening, because I know that guy. He takes guitar lessons from me, or he took one on Skype. And his name is Wildman. That's literally his actual profile name. And he speaks to me only in Hebrew. He does not speak any Hebrew. I speak fluent Hebrew. And he's oddly religious, and he has a big beard, and he's an avant-garde guitar player, which I don't know if you guys ever had the pleasure of hearing those. But 45 minutes of each lesson is just him looking down at his guitar, mumbling, and just, I can't get eye contact back, and it's pretty terrifying. So I'm like, this is gonna be a good night, because Wildman's here, and some crazy shit's about to happen. So I go sit at the table with Wildman right by the stage, and I'm just trying to make small talk. I say, hey man, you want some cava? And he says, I don't drink anything that alters my consciousness. And I say, not even coffee? And he goes, no. I'm like, all right, good talk, that was enough. So I go to this side room where all of our gear is, and nobody's supposed to be there except for artists and staff. And I see Wildman over there. And Wildman is, that's good. Cool. So Wildman's in this back room, and he has his face to the wall. And he's just swaying back and forth. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Is that the direction of Mecca? Is this guy praying? I don't know what's going on here. And I decide to leave it alone. I just take my guitar and go in the other room. And I see Wildman coming out of that back room, and he has 2 drinks, and he sits at his table. And then I see the manager running from that back room to the bartender. He's whispering like, and then they get the owner, and they're all whispering, they're panicked. And the 3 of them jump Wildman, and they grab him by the clothes, and they start dragging him out. And he goes, I didn't know you're not supposed to do this here. And they're like, you knew. And he's like, Dani. And I'm like, Wildman, and he gets kicked out. And I'm perplexed. I do not know what's going on. And the owner comes up to me and he goes, you guys have some weird fucking fans. And I say, why do you say that, sir? And he points at his drinks and he says, That Ain't Cava. And I say, what is it? He says, well, your fan over there went in the back room, pissed in 2 cups, sat in front of you, and drank his own piss. And I say, no. And he says, uh-huh. So I'm excited. I run and tell Everette the whole story. And he says, no. And I say, uh-huh. So needless to say, we're finishing up the show pretty confused, because he looked batshit crazy, but not drink your own piss crazy. So we don't know what to make of it. And the next morning we wake up, we're by the pool, the owner's house, and I realize I have Wildman's number from the Skype lesson. I'm like, I'm gonna call this guy and see what really happened. And John just jumps and he goes, don't do it, man. And I'm like, why not? And he goes, because the story is already perfect. And I say, nah, fuck that. The truth is out there. Wah, 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 right? So I'm dialing up Wildman, and he picks up the phone. And he goes, hello? And I say, hi, Wildman. And he goes, I got kicked out last night. And I said, I noticed. What happened? And he goes, did you ever hear of urinotherapy? And I said, nope. And he says, I drink my own piss. And I said, why? And he said, everybody does. And I said, what? And he says, in your mom's uterus, you drank her piss. And I'm like, I'm no doctor, but I don't think that happened that way. And he goes, did you ever hear of Christopher Reeve? Superman? He goes, he would have walked if he drank his own piss. And I'm like, what? And he goes, there are 7 stem cells in each cup of piss. And I tell him, how much piss are you drinking? And he says, all of it. No water? Nope, I recycle. Like, that's the craziest shit I've heard. And he sends me a lecture on my phone. It's like Dr. Tinkle on YouTube or something. And it's like an hour-long thing, and I'm no doctor. I'm getting convinced myself. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then he says, he leaves me with this. He says, the modern day pharaohs are trying to convince us to not heal ourselves by concealing the secrets of piss drinking. So I'm here to let you guys know that you should let your pee-pee go, and this song is That Ain't Cava.